Hey everybody, welcome to Geeky Guy Comics. Now, as you know, the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey #2 comic came out last week. So let's just dive straight in with the review, shall we? Hey guys, welcome back. So as I mentioned, the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey comic #2 dropped last week, and just like the film, it's a whole lot of Harley, but not really a lot of the Birds of Prey. Now, I'm not going to moan about that because I'm a massive Harley Quinn fan, but the thing I did like about this though is that the fact that, unlike the film, the comic don't even try to hide it. They just literally think, right, it's a Harley Quinn comic, we've got the Birds of Prey, let's just meet it head on, let's fully embrace it and just let's give what it is. I mean, the only thing is though, was it worth the read? And that's the question that hopefully I can answer for you today. Now, before I start this review, I have to mention that it does contain a few spoilers, so if you haven't read the comic yet and you don't want to find out what happens, please don't fear. I've got it covered. There's plenty more videos for your viewing pleasure on my channel, so just press stop, go over to my channel, select another video, read the comic, and then come back when you are ready. Now, as always, my reviews are always going to be 100% honest, and to start off with that, I wasn't really expecting much from this comic. I think it's safe to say that from issue 1 we all kind of knew that it was going to be a funny, unadulterated, comedic take on Harley and the Birds of Prey. And with so many standard and dark, gritty comics out there at the moment, with the likes of DC Black Label and like Hill House Comics, I really do enjoy when something like light-hearted and enjoyable really does come out. Not to say that I don't like the dark and gritty stuff, but Harley Quinn, she's just funny, man. And that's probably one of the main reasons that Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmotti's run on Harley Quinn is so popular. I mean, the creative team really doesn't have to hold back with their vulgarity. I mean, in fact, there's plenty of it, and the fact that they go a little bit further with the innuendos and the fact that there's a shed load of almost nudity teases, I definitely loved it. I weren't going to moan. And it's clear to see that they had fun with this issue, because I think it's fair to say that if you do enjoy the Harley comics, then this will definitely be up your alley. On the other hand though, I would say that if the aspects that I've mentioned above are not your cup of tea, then I would really bear that in mind before you spend the money on this comic, because there are some light-hearted, smutty stuff in it. But if you like that, then go ahead and buy it. If you don't, don't. That's it. Now, normally I would spend the beginning of my reviews recapping the previous issues, but luckily enough, Palmotti and Connor have actually done that for me in the start of this comic. So thanks for that, guys. You've saved me a bundle of time, but you've also saved my viewers who are watching this right now the pleasure of not having to listen to me and my boring waffle. How good is that? So, I mean, at the start of this comic, Harley's back in Gotham and she's crossed paths with Montoya and the Birds of Prey, but basically all she wants to do is exact revenge on the Defo Mortgage Company for the shit they caused her in issue 1. Like, they blew up her bar, blew up her flat, killed her friends and stuff. But the only problem with that is that Detective Montoya has other plans that are kind of going to be ruined if Harley interferes. So all she wants to do is get Harley back to Coney Island, but this is Harley Quinn we're talking about, and you know the fact she ain't going to listen, and also the fact that she's in Gotham. The Joker's definitely going to make an appearance at some point. I have my fingers crossed with this, and it did come true. Now, if I'm honest, the back and forth between Montoya and Harley does run a little long, and it does become a bit boring, but due to Harley's humour and quick-wittedness and one-liners and everything, it is mostly enjoyable. What we do get though is plenty of Harley's randomness. I mean, there's a page in it where Harley just describes what she wants in the world, and it's basically a throwback to everything she's done in her previous comics and everything she wants to do coming up. And the fact that she mentions Nightwing's arse, I was in stitches, and I definitely got a good laugh out of that. I mean, when the two finally do land on the fact that Harley's got to leave and Montoya gets her way before she messes anything up, Harley's like, do you know what, before I jump on the train, I really need to use the toilet. And I mean, come on, it doesn't take a genius to fathom out what the hell's going to happen. I mean, and you can clearly see that they've taken this clip from the film.
Harley, bring the colander.
Ladies,
Have fun with that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! She stole my fucking car! What?
The only difference in this comic, though, is the fact that there's a massive explosion, and I loved it. I just thought this was wicked. If they'd done that in a film, everyone's winning. But as I said at the beginning of this comic, if you're not in for any high class humour here, And as the plot progresses, yes, the Joker does make the appearance, thank God for that, and he's recruited Sin. Now, you may know her if you've been following the other Harley Quinn comics, because she's in one of them, she's in the runs. But for me, again, this just dragged on a bit for me. It was just back and forth between Harley and Sin, and then it just became a bit boring. I'm like, for God's sake, like, this is exactly like the Harley Montoya thing at the start. It's just too long. But despite all that, and the Joker's appearance in the book, I was gutted that he never actually interacts with Harley, not one bit, because everyone knows that these two are probably the most messed up, villainous partnership in the DCU, and they've had some amazing moments together. So why would you not put that in this comic? I just thought it was a bit shitty. I was like, oh, I kind of switched off at that point. But instead of all that, we kind of get Harley giving Montoya the location of the Joker's hideouts as her kind of peace offering for like causing all that shit in the bathroom and doing a runner. But if I'm honest, it does lead on to some funny sequences of the Joker's hideouts being raided by like Montoya and the GCPD, and the raids do result in the Birds of Prey and Montoya chasing the Joker to an abandoned hangar, where and eventually funny, hell, decent battle does ensue. So I'm not going to lie with that. I mean, the battle with the Joker eventually does end in the Birds of Prey's favour, and it does lead to probably one of the funniest moments in the entire book. I mean, it definitely is a laugh out loud moment. It's kind of like the Joker is bare butt lying strapped to a gurney in an ambulance, and despite his situation, he still continues to torment the city officials. Like, that is until he gets like notification that someone's actually broken into the vault that he thought was impenetrable, at which point he just loses his shit. He's just like, what the hell is going on? I didn't even think this is possible. And then this causes like the police and the paramedics to like be scared shitless. They're like, what the hell is going on? But this is mainly because they think he's got a bomb strapped to him, and I was literally like, he knew this and he was just playing on it, and I thought it was hilarious. Now, while this is all going on and you're wondering where Harley has been and what she's been up to, well, let me tell you, she called on an old friend to help her, and it was none other than the one and only Terror. Now, she is from the Teen Titans, but she kind of doesn't want to be called Terror no more because of all the Teen Titans fame, so she's kind of tried to distance herself from that. But I've got to say, the break in itself is highly entertaining. The entire scenario when they break into the Joker's vault is kind of like Robin Hood-esque, and it's a hilarious story between the Joker and the other rogues at Arkham Asylum ensues because of this, because apparently he's holding all their worldly goods in his vault that's just broken into. And what the fuck's going to go down? The comic ends on that. So like, that is it, guys. It's a kind of non-spoiler spoiler review of Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey #2. But I think we can all agree that even though it delivered some great funny moments, there were portions of it that were kind of like a bit boring, a bit dragged on for no reason, and it was kind of just, they were like kind of stocking fillers just to fill the page. Thankfully though, the slower portions of that and the tiring bits do start at the beginning of the comic, so by the time you get halfway through, all you're left with is this manic, crazy, fun adventure of Harley Quinn as usual. And it's definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but the title doesn't do anything to hide that at all. It doesn't do anything. So I just want to give you a warning before, if you're not into everything I've just mentioned, don't bother buying the comic, because overall I found it quite funny, entertaining, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next chapter. But you might not. You might just think, oh, this is boring, and switch off, but stick with it. As always, guys, that is a wrap. If you've liked my content, please make sure that you do check out my other videos. I always have a blast talking to you guys, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification buttons. It really, really does help. It enables me to give more content to you. And guys, that's it for another week. Check out my video on the weekly comic books coming out for July 8th. The link to that is there right about now. And as always, guys, have a fantastic week. And if I don't see you for a week, I'll see you through the Geeky Guy window.